Hey, be careful with those beats. You might open up the doors to Wakanda.
Oh, that's right.
My gosh.
Pour the water on here
Forever.
first.
Welcome back to the Break Room. This is our daily live show that keeps you updated on all the nerdy fandom news you need to know. Live from our very own Break Room right here at New Rockstars headquarters at an undisclosed location.
They won't let me out. They won't let me out. I don't know where we are. I'm scared.
I asked Brandon, I was like, when can I leave? And he's like, you never get to leave.
Yeah.
You never get to leave. Well, coming up on the show today, Andor is coming for you one way or another.
Oh, God.
Get away from that sweet, sweet Andor.
Cassian.
We got Secret Wars updates. Also, Riri Williams is so much more than what you saw in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I don't know why I put that affectation on that. And speaking of so much more, we've got lots more. But first, let's introduce the co-hosts.
That's in a script.
Well, Tommy wrote the script.
I walked right into that one, folks. I'm Brandon Barrick. Who cares?
Also,
Across
I
the
think
table-
if we're blaming Tommy, I don't think we have Secret Wars updates. I think we have Secret Invasion updates.
Oh, well, I'll
We'll
have
find
Secret
out.
Wars
We'll
update.
find out.
I'll get in there.
All
Laying down some
find some
truth.
mistakes.
It's John
I love
Costa.
him.
Always judgmental.
Always. We let him out of the producer booth. I don't know why. I don't. Is it a producer booth? Is that what you call it?
It's a cubicle.
Yeah. Next to John, we got the beautiful Jessica Clemons.
Beautiful.
I didn't get that.
Jeez.
No, you don't get that, John. Absolutely not. Work on yourself. Prove yourself.
Damn.
And next to me, we got the always effervescious Tom Michelson.
Oh, thank
Is that
you.
a real word?
Wait, you got a big
It is
one?
now.
Effervacious?
Effervacious.
He's
It's
slightly,
hard to be
he's
effervacious
slightly
next
bubbly.
to Jess, but I will try.
Penicillin. That's another big word.
That is a big word.
And if you want to send in a super chat today, we always appreciate it. Thank you to the super chat we already received from Christian Unpronounceable. Wakanda Forever was beautiful. It was beautiful. What wasn't beautiful was me crying so much. No, go back real fast. But if you do send in those super chats, we're going to do some Thanksgiving-style redemptions.
Yes.
Because Thanksgiving is near. So for every $100 we raise in super chats, we're going to give thanks to some of our favorite fandoms.
Can you give us an example?
Ooh.
Yeah. I would like to. I'm going to take this one off the table because it's the easy one.
Wait, I
it's
might
right
use
there
it
for
too.
everybody.
I
No,
might-
Is it Andor?
it's Andor. I would love to give thanks to Andor. God bless you, Tony Gilroy. Thank you so much for letting this show happen. Thank you to whoever at Lucasfilm didn't cancel this show before it got done. Thank you so much for this show. If you're in there in the chat and you're sick of us talking about Andor, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the show as we get into our headline.
Hey! Pew, pew, pew.
James Mangold, who you may know as director of Logan or Kate and Leopold, recently confirmed via Twitter that a trailer for Indiana Jones 5 will be released in the next 30 days.
This is cruel.
Less than 30
This is
days.
cruel.
Like, what a strange thing. Also, a missed opportunity to have, like, a fun puzzle, like, AR-style
But
game.
I think that, like, I think we need to play that game, right? Like, sometimes these trailers are attached to, like,
Right.
big sporting events or a holiday or what,
Yes.
like, is it a Thanksgiving
I think it's
drop?
Macy's Day Parade.
Okay.
There's an Indiana Jones
I can see
float,
that.
and they bring out the Rockettes.
What if they have to escape from this like giant boulder
gonna
rolling
say-
Give me
down?
that. Give me the Rockettes dressed as Nazis with their faces melted.
There's going to be a balloon.
It's really scary.
A balloon during the parade. They're going to pop it and a boulder's going to roll out. And
Hell
everyone's
yeah.
going to have to run.
Hell
Yeah.
It's immersive. It is what you want.
Yeah,
A shaman is going to walk up to the Ronald McDonald balloon and be like, Kalima! and pull his heart out.
Pull his own heart
Pull
out.
out, no, Ronald McDonald's heart.
Oh, Ron
okay.
McDonald's.
Oh my god.
He'll deflate.
I love him.
Let's make freaking
There's a human heart inside the McDonald's.
But I will say, and you
It's
probably...
fucking huge. It's like, oh, it's really unhealthy, you guys.
Yeah,
God.
it's full of plaque. I'm sure you all are sick of hearing from people who went to D23 and was like, the Indiana Jones 5 trailer was the best thing I ever saw, but it was really good. If they just showed that
you think it's the same thing?
Yeah, if they showed that trailer, it'll be awesome. If there's more to it, it'll be even better.
I'll take it.
Can you give me a reminder of what was Phoebe Waller-Bridge in the trailer?
She was in the
what
trailer.
was the kind of...
So the trailer was this interesting mix. I keep describing it as like the Indiana Jones clip show, where it was like, there's old Indiana Jones, yes, but it's clear that the film is going to have some like flashbacks to adventures we never saw.
Oh.
And it was like this great trailer where there was like a mix of set pieces and things. And it was like, oh, this is great. Like instead of one adventure, we're going to see all these different adventures he went on. And Sala was back. Phoebe Waller-Bridge was there, as you pointed out.
She came back?
She came back.
Wow.
So wait, okay. They are de-aging Harrison Ford
Yes,
for this
for
movie,
some
but
of it,
also some
but
of
not
it
all
is
of it.
reused footage?
I don't know. I'm sure they'll have some reused footage and some like de-aged footage of adventures we never saw
Right.
and some modern day stuff.
Okay.
Because there was some still old man indie running.
That was
and
my
some
thing with the
blend.
Irishman, was like if they can figure out how,
Right.
maybe they just need to get a body double for the younger
I think
stuff.
they were
Because it
definitely
was
doing
like
that, yeah.
watching Robert De Niro as like a 25-year-old man beat the shit out
Yeah.
of someone in the 90-year-old's body was like, okay.
Well,
They
that
also
was
got like
like,
de-aged to like 45, and it's like,
Right.
wait, how are
Right.
you? Because like a lot of these guys, at least for the Irishman, I hadn't seen them in so long, so I'm like, wait, is this what you look like now? Or
That
is
was
this
what
a
actually
de-aged
one of the things I liked
thing?
about the Irishman,
I
where you
was
were like,
wait.
what
Yeah.
are you old? Are you older than you're supposed to be? Are you younger than you're
Right,
supposed
right.
to
The
be?
best example of that DH stuff not quite working with the old body is in Captain Marvel, where you have a young Nick Fury, right, played by a modern time Samuel L. Jackson. When he bends down to pet the Flerken at one point to get back up, he
And he
puts
farts.
his hands on his knee. And
And you
farts
hear
on the
like
way.
an audible.
it's an old man standing back, whereas a young man in his late 20s would just jump up.
Right. He would have just
Didn't
flicked
even
there.
care about his fart. He didn't know where he was going.
He's like, oh, excuse me. Must have been a barking spider.
Somebody catch that duck.
Go. Read the next.
So yeah, excited for Indiana Jones 5 trailer in the next 30 days. I don't know. Give us
Start
a
the
date.
clock.
Give us a date. Speaking of give us a date, this weekend, a surprise collaborative short film between Disney and Studio Ghibli. Ghibli?
I say Ghibli.
Ghibli, I think.
Dropped on Disney Plus. This was after like a day before they had a little tweet kind of teasing that they were working together, and like everyone was like, "Oh, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be a cool like X-wing story?" It was Grogu and the Dust Bunnies.
And it's really cute.
It's very cute. It's 3 minutes.
So cute.
It's completely hand drawn, which is nice to
Yeah,
see.
it's beautiful.
It's very stylized. It was great. It's cute. Put it on for the kids.
If Disney and Studio Ghibli have had this great relationship for many, many years now. Disney releasing their films in the United States, doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the sort of like American or English dub. Do you think this is going to open the door for more partnerships between the two
I
studios?
The thing
So-
is, they're probably. You have to get Studio Ghibli. You got to
Yeah.
get them on board. I think
Right.
it's like they're
Oh,
always
did-
going to be down to do something, but Studio
Right.
Ghibli's like, just wait.
We have a
Be patient.
reputation.
Yeah, it's
It'll
like
take us
be
16
patient.
years.
There is
Right.
that's like the thing is like Studio Ghibli has their own demographic and their own
Yeah.
just like they're already on their own pedestal,
Yeah.
and then they're like lump themselves in with Disney, but to like take on Disney, it's like okay, well you guys bring a lot. We have like an excellent array of
Right,
movies
right,
that
right.
only get like 100%.
I was gonna say I'm surprised, but then again I'm not that they didn't include this as part of like a Star Wars Visions thing.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Then again, it is Studio Ghibli. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole other tier of anime.
think-
and they have a whole other fandom out there. But
I also
yeah,
think
I'm
they're
surprised.
leaning more that it's Studio Ghibli than it is Disney.
Yes.
It clearly is, but it's like the Studio Ghibli directed it.
I wonder if they're the
Studio
ones who
Ghibli
called
wrote
up Lucasfilm and be like, we want to make a Grogu thing with Dust Bunnies. So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
Well,
Here's
I'll be honest.
the IP. Here's everything.
It's a if you're not familiar, it's a 3-minute short film. So it's like really, really digestible. There's no dialogue, of course. Maybe this is really reductive to animators, but it really felt to me like some animator at Studio Ghibli was like, Grogu's the cutest thing ever, and I want to like spend the next 3 or 4 weeks
100%.
like hand
100%.
drawing this. It like feels
100%.
really personal. It feels like
Very
someone
simple,
yeah, super simple. It feels like one person almost was like, I made this cool thing, and Disney or Star Wars was like,
It's funny that you said that there's no dialogue. Watch, we boot it up, and Grogu has like a 2-minute monologue. He's like, when I was a boy, and all of a sudden it's completely like canon breaking.
what have I sacrificed?
He's all like, he's like, exactly, everything. Yeah, exactly.
I ate a mother's eggs.
Exactly.
And I kept
I did
going.
it for fun.
He told me to stop, and I didn't stop.
I'm 55 years old and I can't get laid.
Look here, I'm gonna eat the eggs I want to eat.
I'm
I've
gonna
heard
eat
order
these eggs.
66.
I saw it.
I saw that
Kill
shit with
those-
my own eyes.
All those younglings I saw. Burnt to the crisp.
Now they're just Dust Bunnies. Then credits.
Oh,
roll. That's how
shit.
it goes.
Oh, the
Sorry,
Dust Bunnies
spoilers.
are
That's
Deeper
how it goes.
meaning.
Yeah.
Easter eggs you missed.
Sorry.
Speaking of dead children in the Star Wars universe, via the Andor official Twitter page, Andor episodes 1 and 2 will be released on ABC, Hulu, and FX starting November 23rd.
And
So go
Freeform,
on-
but we left that out
and
of the story.
Freeform. Apologies to Freeform. They're coming full court press. Please watch this show. They're begging people.
Please. And this is our plea to you. It's Thanksgiving. Maybe you're with
Yeah.
some of your family that doesn't have Disney Plus or whatever it is. Throw on a little bit of Andor. I do love that they're doing the first 2 episodes and not the first 3 episodes because they want to give you a little
Right, right.
cliffhanger.
A little-
You're
a
like,
little
hey,
tease.
watch that third episode.
So they just assume that like, people don't have Disney Plus.
Yeah, or maybe they're like.
Because
not
I'm like, I don't
checking
have
it out.
ABC.
I mean,
Actually, isn't it broadcast? I think you do, technically. If you
Well,
if
I
you
get
have
an
an
antenna.
I have Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We
If
have
I
an
have an
antenna.
antenna,
We have an antenna. Yep. Stand up there on a rainy day.
the only thing
we
that
get to watch
could,
it.
the only thing that could possibly ruin Andor for me would be commercial interruptions.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Or you're watching it on your dad's
yeah.
poorly calibrated TV
It's-
with the
it's
like
great.
rabbit ears.
It's a
got-
slow
yeah,
burn,
they
but it'll
have
be
the-
even slower with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
commercials.
Watching on your parents' TV who still have like the motion blur turned on. Or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah,
like,
smoothing
forget
plus.
it. But
Just the way Tony Gilroy wanted this
Just the way I
series to
wanted
be
it.
seen.
But yeah, I mean, at least it shows that they want this show to be seen by more people, which I appreciate. I really like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Andor, in an interview with Variety, creator and showrunner Tony Gilroy was saying that Lucasfilm restricted scenes of heavy sex and violence in Andor. I will say a lot of the violence has gotten through, but Gilroy said there were things we couldn't do. Quote, I mean, we have standards and practices. We can't have sex. There's a level of violence that we can't have. There's limits on what we can do. We can't do some things that we would want to do, but within that, we're cool.
But they can imply like child arranged marriage
Right,
sex.
right.
The
You know?
thing is,
And the massacre
if
of
they
children.
could have
Yeah.
put, could you imagine if Disney didn't own this? If they were like, this is just going straight to DVD or something, like
damn.
the violence and sex that would be in it.
I mean, the
would be
first
insane.
episode, this doesn't really spoil anything you haven't watched it yet, implies that Bix sleeps with her partner to shut him up.
Yeah.
And like, it was the first time I saw this where we see like someone getting out of bed and like putting their clothes back on. I was like, whoa, whoa! Star Wars!
Don't they throw in a couple
Yeah,
like
Bix's, Bix's boyfriend, a hot body.
Yeah, I mean, Bix ain't nothing to sneeze at.
He's
a
no
little-
Theo James
we
from
all-
White Lotus.
Yeah, it's not real, folks.
And they threw in some swears too, right? Didn't
Yeah.
they have
Put
a
in the
swear
chat. Put
at
in
a
the chat if that
bastard
dick
or
was
something
real.
like
Yeah, give me a poll right now.
Wait, we still talking Andor? Did I
no,
miss an episode?
No, we are
Tom,
not.
Yes,
Tom's
yes.
right. They dropped a shit. It's
Yeah.
the first curse word, like
And
in
the
Star
first
Wars
shit in
that
Star
wasn't
Wars.
dank fairy.
And maybe a bastard. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We
Dank
watched.
hope this
We watched
doesn't-
Andor. There's an extended scene of Andor going after that pipe in the bathroom. Where he's laying a pipe. They dropped a shit.
That's it.
I encourage
This
this.
is my last appearance on the break room. I will be signing
We
off.
already have one member of the break room on suspension. You're
Teetering on the edge.
teetering on the edge.
Would've been worth it.
We've got some Wakanda Forever and Thunderbolts headlines to get to, but first, we want to shout out some folks that are helping us bring this week of the break room to you, and that includes Inkbox. Inkbox tattoos, they last just 1 to 2 weeks. So you can express yourself with the
okay.
I was like, wait, do you have one?
I do.
I was like,
I do.
I
wanna
thought
see.
he wasn't finished with the beginning. I'm sorry. This is.
These are Inkbox tattoos. They last for 1 to 2 weeks, so you can express yourself with the right tattoo for the mood you're in right now without worrying about whether or not you'll want it forever. There are over 10,000 tattoo designs to choose from, including a wide variety of styles and sizes. What we're most interested in here at the Break Room is their custom platform that lets you create your own totally unique tattoos very easily. We made a few especially for the Break Room. We got a little one here. Hard to see. It says it's Morbin time. We got a
Can
Gucci.
I get that?
We got a Gucci to mooch.
Does this work?
can't see
What
it.
does this do?
Is
can't
it in
see it,
focus?
John.
It's hard to see.
It's not in focus.
John, I can't
Oh.
see.
Okay, I failed.
We got a Mephisto watch tattoo. But anyways, so what we're gonna
The
do?
Gucci Moochie looks like Harry Potter.
It's just got some Harry
Why
Potter
is this
font.
Harry
I
Potter
saw that.
font?
Mandatory
Go to the camera
font.
for let me see if I
Nice.
can. You can kind of see it. Look.
So what we're gonna do? We have these temporary tattoos.
So watch.
We have Tommy, who's currently facing suspension, and Zach, who's not here either. But they both agreed that they would wear one of the other guy's designs. So Tommy designed a Gucci to Moochie. Zach designed a It's Morbin Time. If you were here for the mug competition, you know it's a touchy subject for both of them. So what we're gonna do votes this week. And if you vote for Zach, Tommy will have to wear It's Morbin Time. If you vote for Tommy, Zach will have to wear It's Gucci to Moochie. That's a little backwards, I think.
Yeah, but it's you know.
We should
You're
vote for the
wearing each
person you
other's-
want to get the tattoo. That's what we'll say.
Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I see, yeah.
if you could throw up a poll right now, Anna, for
Sorry
who
for
should get a
not topping you
tattoo,
on this, Anna.
Tommy or Zach? Should Zach get a tattoo that says Gucci to Moochie? Should Tommy get a tattoo?
And are
that says
they doing
Morbin
this
Time?
Post Malone style with the?
No, we're not.
Okay,
no,
just
no
checking,
heads,
just
no
checking.
necks. People, they've got to go to Thanksgiving this.
Oh,
That's,
yes,
that's
yes,
also.
I was gonna say,
coincidental.
These
I
last
have-
a while.
I have a little ghosty on my arm right
Yeah.
now for Halloween that's fading, and I'm not going to get yelled at by anyone in my family for over Thanksgiving.
go.
My Haku from Studio Ghibli was on my leg and it's gone now. But I scheduled an appointment to
Lasts
get
a
the
while,
exact
though,
same
right?
tattoo.
Yeah.
permanently
So
on my
we'll
body.
run these polls for the next 3 days. So today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then declare a winner on Thursday. And that they'll put it on On Thursday, the winner will get the tattoo put on them.
Tommy said he'd even put it on his stomach.
Hey,
Promises.
you got to pay extra for
Yeah,
that.
this is Tommy agreed to this so he could get unsuspended. Okay, folks, we got to bring him back. So we'll do these tattoos these polls 3 days in a row. We'll get the winner. They'll get tattooed Thursday, Friday. They'll really show it off because it takes a little time to set in because these are good tattoos. To get your own Inkbox tattoos, click the link in the video description or head to inkbox.com and use code NEWROCKSTARS to get 25% off your entire Inkbox order. There's no minimum order requirement, but you can only use that code once. So stock up, think ahead, get a good bulk order together. The code will only be good until the end of 2022.
Do we know the shelf life on these? Can you order a bunch and then just kind of like slowly over time? Oh, I want a new tattoo
so.
this
I mean,
week. Next month I want to get a new
They
tattoo.
each come like sealed up, which was really
Yeah.
nice. Like these got delivered on a day it was raining here in our undisclosed location, and the package was wet. And I was like, oh no, the tattoos.
I would never know if it was raining. I
But
can't
they-
see the sun.
But they were sealed up. You hear it on the windowless
Pitter
room you sit
patter on
in.
that. Yeah.
They're sealed up perfectly, so I think they have a good shelf
Great.
life.
I
think
love
you got
that.
time. You got time. Time is on your side. Okay.
Plant-derived packaging.
There you go.
Look at that.
Next headline. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Wakanda Forever launched into a record $180 million domestically
Congrats.
over the weekend from the 11th to the 13th, and $330 million globally, making it the largest November opening ever.
Which one?
Congratulations.
It'd be Mockingjay.
Mockingjay.
Yes,
was
yes,
that the
it
last?
was,
Yeah, that was
it was a Hunger
November.
Games one.
When
yeah.
when I hear that also, because this has been everywhere, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really see movies in November.
Yeah, well, this is traditionally like awards season. It's
Oh,
like
that-
your
yeah,
heavier fare that maybe, it's not like a big crowd pleaser.
And it's like Christmas people, or just in December, people go to the theaters with family, and I don't think they do
Right.
that for like Thanksgiving or November.
Now people eat on Thanksgiving.
And then go
And they
to
watch
bed.
football.
I don't know. I guess see a
sleep.
movie
And
on
they sleep.
Thanksgiving.
And they
You
sleep.
want to go see a movie with me on Thanksgiving?
No, dog.
Did you
I gotta
know
eat.
that
I don't
Thanksgiving
think
is like, or the day after Thanksgiving is the #1 day for plumbers? Sorry, keep going.
No
actually true.
way.
It's a true
That's
fact.
Really?
insane.
The day
Because
Oh
that shit
my
is backed up?
God.
Black
Guys-
Friday they call Brown Friday.
Oh my God.
Guys, eat your
Speaking of
veggies.
dropping a
Get
shit
some
on
drink
Andor.
water.
Yeah, drink
Get
water.
some roughage in your diet.
Good
Don't just
God.
stick to the starches this Thanksgiving.
Don't stick to the starch.
Back it
You
up.
gotta mix it up, folks. Have a grapefruit in the morning. It's great for your digestive system. Black Panther Wakanda Forever producer Nate Moore confirmed that. Oh, this is a big spoiler. So if you have not, if you have not seen Black
Oh,
Panther
yeah.
Good
yet,
catch, good catch.
do we have? Yeah, put the spoiler thing on.
Ooh,
This
the
is a big
old
spoiler.
overlay.
Give it like 5
Yeah,
seconds.
fix that.
This is your spoiler warning. Come back in 5 minutes. If you haven't seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever yet, okay? This is a Black Panther
Hey,
Wakanda
Dashiell.
Forever spoiler.
Let's not put the text lower third up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Take it out. There we
Cool.
go. Okay.
Cool.
This is a spoiler, okay? So if you've seen the film, you're familiar with the post-credit scene. Nate Moore is basically saying that scene, the effects of that scene, the fact that, all right, you've been warned,
Spoilers up.
T'Challa has a son. Oh, God, I cried so hard, dude.
That little kid has a son?
Toussaint.
Spoiler and a
Jesus
spoiler?
His
Christ.
son.
Toussaint.
T'Challa
Toussaint?
Jr. Do we call him Junior?
Toussaint.
Junior.
Yeah.
Junior.
Junior works.
I was crying so hard. Oh my gosh. He said that idea was always going to be part of the sequel before even Chadwick Boseman passed. Moore said, quote, that was always the end of the movie pretty much since Chad's passing. I think the first draft we got had it in there. And the notion of the character introduced in that scene actually predated Chad's passing, to be quite honest. We always liked that idea. So that's kind of impressive. I mean, it makes a lot of sense narratively, especially with where, the MCU has been going. This Phase 4 has been all about kids.
So many
Yeah.
people have had kids. Thor
Right.
has now an adopted daughter. Hulk has
Yeah.
Scar. I
Well,
mean,
we
there's so
we always
much.
joke about Young Avengers, but even the original cast of the Young Avengers, we thought they're old enough to be the Avengers now. So it's
Right.
like they're really like trying to plan ahead, I think. But yeah, so that was always part of the plan. I think that makes sense.
I mean, and it goes with sort of like all the stories we had here that Ryan Coogler basically took the script that he had written and just like made a lot of changes, and the themes were the same, the villain was the same. I'm sure all the telecon stuff was pretty similar. And yeah, it makes sense
Yeah,
that they
he's
were
talked
just
about, Coogler's talked about, especially in that podcast, the official Black Panther podcast, which is only one episode out. The rest of it doesn't come out until January.
Yep.
But if you haven't listened to that, it's great. And he talks about, like, he always wanted the idea of Namor for the very first film, and they were like, we have to wait on that one. And then Aquaman came out, and he was like, son of a bitch.
You did this.
Made me
You
wait.
ruined me.
You made me wait.
Hey, I mean,
But
look,
think-
Disney spent $8 billion buying Fox so they could put Namor in a movie.
Yeah.
But they also, he had finished the script before Chadwick passed, sent it to Chadwick. This was before he'd even sent it to Marvel for notes. So yeah, it was probably already in there, and that's cool. That's cool to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll hear a lot more details about that. Okay, end of the spoilers. We won't talk about it anymore. I don't think there's any more spoilers. No. We're good. Spoilers done. Okay, next headline.
Except for that thing where Riri Williams says she dies and gets brought back to life by Mephisto. Is that the next story?
That is the spoiler.
Okay.
Don't say that on the air. Sitting down with Variety, actor Dominique Thorne said that we didn't get to meet the real Riri Williams in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. She said, quote, the film does such a good job of showcasing one sliver, one side of who she is. We get that little taste of the colors that exist within her. We see her as a hustler. We see her as a little bit of a bully. We see her as fearful. We see her in all these different lights. But primarily, she's in a world of confusion. This is her outside of her element, in the very opposite of her comfort zone. So the Riri that we see is a bit of a fight or flight.
Damn, Dominic Thorne literally said, "I'm ready."
That's an actress,
I mean,
right?
that's
now.
a
Or an
that's,
actor.
that is
Excuse me,
a
that's an actor.
I don't know what that is, because I was like, damn, that was a good answer. for
She
an
really
interview.
understands the character, and I think it's a good thing of being like, she's mostly in the background of scenes or like a side character. She doesn't get like a solo scene for the most part of the movie.
I thought
Right.
about it, and I was like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she ever found her name.
Oh,
She
it
doesn't
never
have
gets
her
said.
I don't
It
think
never
so.
gets said.
She doesn't say.
They
I
have
am
They
the
carve
pieces
a
and stuff,
little
but yeah.
heart, but like it doesn't.
Also,
really-
like she's carving that heart out of like sheet metal, and then the suit
not
is
in the design.
the suit ends up being
She
vibranium
was
nanotech.
probably
It's like
I don't want it. And then that, well,
Maybe
in
that's
the
like
series,
below the
she's,
shoulder
she's
pommel
making
or
a
something.
super rudimentary suit,
Yeah.
and Shuri's like, what?
She was up
no,
all night. She's working on
stop.
it. She's like, oh, I gotta get this done by the deadline. And Shuri comes in late the next morning.
She's like, we have a 3D printer.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, and we got this vibranium over here. You want to use? Don't use that
Yeah.
sheet metal. Yeah,
They
yeah.
open a closet. There's 50 different versions of it. Hilarious.
But I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with the headline.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
I mean, this isn't
It's
her
it's not her
movie.
origin
Yeah.
story.
Right.
It's just like a sliver.
And it's perfect because she, like, for a lot of people, including myself, she like stole the show. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
one of the greatest parts. So it'd be funny if she just like, actually, we don't really need the show anymore. That was pretty much what it is, guys. I mean, it's great that we got a little bit of a taste of it, and with such little to do other than the action scenes, it was great.
Yeah. I mean, we got like half a build. We got like half a build montage. I wanted like full, like sweat on the brow.
In the
Like
cave, like
I wanted
sweat.
a little bit
Sparks.
more.
She doesn't
of,
need
like,
to sweat. You know, in that lab
She don't
cave,
sweat.
it's very
It's cold as hell.
Oh my God, man,
Hey,
Like,
breathe my
it is frigid.
She's back in her garage in
guys
Chicago.
got,
She'll probably be hot.
a
if it's
heater or
like-
something like that.
You gave her clothes, no midriff. Like, she's freezing in
I
there.
think that suit, that outfit, I was like, damn, where'd I get those? They need to start linking where the fits
Everything
are
had
from.
like laces on the
Yeah,
arms.
it
I
was
mean,
like-
Ruth Carter, she's making it all
Yeah.
Does she work
custom,
at
right?
Nike?
I don't think so.
It looks like a Nike outfit.
Okay.
In another interview, Digital Spy spoke with Martin Freeman, who of course plays Edward K. Ross, and he teased the crossovers in the upcoming Secret Invasion
This is a
series.
big
It
quote.
had nothing to do with Secret Wars. Secret Invasion series. It's an interesting quote. He basically says that it's very murky. It's a quote, quite labyrinthian in terms of storytelling and the amount of people crossing over with each other, end quote, said Freeman. I take it to be that we're going to see a lot of Skrulls impersonating heroes that we know. And a lot of cameos that aren't actual
I'm
cameos.
so scared.
Right.
Every time we're like, this next thing is going to have so many cameos. It was like Multiverse of Madness. We were like, Cameo Fest.
It had a lot of
She-Hulk.
cameos.
We were like, Cameo Fest. And now we're like, Secret Invasion. You got to put in
She-Hulk
characters that really matter.
did have a cameo.
It did have a lot of cameos. But I'm always scared.
I think in
to
Secret
be
Invasion,
like,
I know what you're talking about, John, because you need to have like the mother load of cameos.
In order for it to
in a
matter-
Skrull shape-shifting show.
Well, it's also-
you got to have everybody back.
Yeah.
Well, it's
almost.
over. Okay, so two things. It's overtime. So it's like everything that we saw in Phase 4, like, for instance, Val, probably a Skrull. All these other people that we've already seen.
Val's
over
a
Phase
Skrull?
I think Val's a
I
Skrull.
would see that. Yeah.
And so that.
Write it down.
And then secondly, we talk about Secret Invasion so much, but I don't see as much press as it for everything else. Does that make sense? I feel like it's not getting as much hype as it should.
Well, they put out one trailer.
Well, we don't even know when it's coming out yet.
Yeah.
Right?
They haven't given us a release date.
I feel like I hear more about Armor Wars than I do Secret Invasion.
Well, that was because we were like, is it coming out? Is it even happening?
On the paper.
Yeah.
Like,
Please talk about my project.
Hey, I mean, he got elevated. He went from a series to a movie. Like that's
Maybe an elevation.
pretty
We'll
good.
see. We'll see. Show me a script. Show me the script.
They are putting a lot of people in it.
Doesn't exist.
I think it'll be good. But yeah, it is interesting what Martin Freeman had to say about Secret Invasion. I assume he's going to be in it most definitely. Then they've certainly set up his character. I think Black Panther Wakanda Forever did a good job adding multiple new layers to his character and about where it could go. I think
Maybe he could be a good Skrull that we've met.
Oh my God! This is going to be a spoiler a little bit.
Okay.
This is. You want to put up the spoiler thing really quick? I'm so sorry.
Spoiler.
What if they take him back to Wakanda? He's a Skrull that infiltrates. If he is working with Val in the long game or something, he's now where the vibranium action is.
Damn, they brought him right into the front door.
No. Oh, yeah, I'm fine with that. And finally, David Harbour, the Red Guardian, he spoke with IO9 about the, quote, interesting plans for Yelena in the upcoming Thunderbolts. He said, quote, what we want to do with Florence's character is very interesting, and how I factor into how we develop our relationship is very interesting. Loves that word. And then when you see what Jake and Eric Pearson is trying to do to fashion, it's really clever, so you have to have this movie that's, kind of ragtag, end quote.
Okay.
He also spoke about the movie as a whole, saying it'll be funny, it'll be weird, it'll be action, and then we're also going to drop a bomb.
A real
Is
bomb?
that literal?
F-bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah. What bomb are we talking
Is
about?
that literal?
It's gonna be literal, and then also I think it's gonna lean more comedy than it's gonna lean.
Yeah. So do you think this is gonna be like? Because the Thunderbolts and the Suicide Squad in comics, there's a lot of comparison between the two, right?
Completely.
Do you think movie-wise it's going to be very similar? Because when they announced the lineup for the Thunderbolts, I would argue it's less bad guy heavy than we thought it was going to be, right?
Yeah, it's almost no bad guys, right? Taskmaster redeemed, Ghost redeemed, Red Guardian kind of a good guy.
Was never
Black
really a bad.
Black Widow.
Oh, no, I guess he was. He was the one trapping the key. Oh my God, he was bad at first. I forgot Red Guardian was.
all of these are characters that maybe were villains, but are now
Right.
fully redeemed in the eyes of the
Because they haven't
Avengers.
officially
Well,
said
I also-
Zemo's a part of it.
Right.
I think they're also choosing. No offense, and maybe I'm wrong. I think they are choosing people from the lower of the franchises that we saw. Not to be again. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't like Black Widow, so I'll say that.
Which is
So
fair.
I think they're
those
just
movies
kinda
don't always
making
have
sure
time to
to.
flesh out the villains.
Yeah.
And they have redeemed a lot of them. And to their credit, they didn't kill off a lot of.
Yeah.
Marvel doesn't kill off their villains a lot, which is nice.
And if they do kill people, it's usually women, and all these women have come back.
Yeah.
So hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm very excited for them, but I do think it is going to be more comical than it is going to be serious.
Well, yeah,
it's going to be them trying to get along, and it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
And we have 3 shield throwing guys. We got Red Guardian. We got and including Bucky, who knows how to do it. Then we have
Mayonnaise.
Johnny Mayonnaise, and we have Taskmaster.
Yep.
Maybe they could. I could imagine it getting a little bit hammy up in there with them throwing the shield,
Yeah,
taking turns.
it's a
trying to-
very,
Taskmaster can redeem themselves.
It's a very soldier-based,
Yeah.
hand-to-hand combat squad.
Right.
What if
No-
it's just them training?
That's why I hope they bring
No,
Abomination
I
too.
mean you got super soldier serum folks, but
No
no
laser eyes.
no gods,
It's only
no
Ghost.
none of that.
It's only
It's just
Ghost.
like
Ghost is the
yeah.
only one with a power, right?
It's
Yeah.
true.
Are they all super soldiers?
And what is her power? she
Yeah,
can
well,
phase.
phase.
She can phase.
She can walk
that's
through a wall.
pretty cool.
She can
What do you do?
phase.
Can you phase?
No.
Did you watch
I'm
Ant-Man
also
and the
not
Wasp?
dying.
Sir, have you ever phased?
Well, she's not anymore too now.
We don't know. He was supposed to go into the quantum realm to save her, and then he
don't
got
know.
dusted.
We don't know.
No, I thought we do know. Doesn't she do the? Doesn't Michelle
does it
Pfeiffer
once.
does
Michelle
that?
Pfeiffer puts her on a
Wasn't
single
the whole
track
thing?
and
does
makes
the
Wasn't
head
the whole
kick.
post-credit scene like we got to go into the quantum realm to save Ghost, and then Janet and Hank get dusted, and it's a whole.
No, they were going back to collect data, wasn't it?
No,
But
they were
I don't think
collecting
she
quantum
did enough.
juice.
I don't
Yeah,
think she
for
did
Ghost.
For Ghost? Okay.
Let us know in the poll
I don't
whose
know.
side you're on, Jessica and John or Brandon and Tom.
It was for quantum juice. I remember that for sure.
Someone's yawning at me in the comments.
Speaking of polls, according to the tattoo poll, it was very close. Tommy pulled ahead with 56%. So Tommy right now has one. We're
Don't
gonna do
give
best of
Tommy
three.
what he
We're
wants.
going to do best of 3 with polls, okay? So tomorrow,
Okay.
it's either Tommy or Zach. So if Tommy wins tomorrow, we know the answer, but Team Zach.
There might be a shakeup.
Zach really doesn't want this tattoo, so let's make him get it. We also want to thank the sponsor today, Aspiration. When it comes to climate action, your money is power, baby. With Aspiration, a new kind of change is in your pocket. Oh, clever. Simply by moving your money to Aspiration, you're giving your deposits a cleaner, greener, leaner, steamier home. Aspiration is a climate-friendly alternative for your money. Get an account and debit card that's built to help your wallet and the planet. Aspiration lets you plant a tree by rounding up every single swipe of your credit card. Aspiration's been hard at work, helping people align their money with their values, funding the planting of over 100 million trees.
Fund the planet.
Gosh, 100 million trees? That's 50 million hammocks, folks. And on their way to funding the planting of 1 billion trees by 2030. Can you imagine? 1 billion trees rising up against us, destroying us. It's no wonder why Forbes, NerdWire, and the Penny Hoarder recommend Aspiration for the eco-conscious. Best of all, there's no credit check, no overdraft fees. And with Aspiration, you just pay what you think is fair, even if that's zero, because money shouldn't stand in the way of you doing the right thing. Make your dollars make a difference. Open an Aspiration account at aspiration.com/tree.
How do you spell that?
TREE.
Oh, thank you.
Tree. Help save the planet with your Aspiration debit card. Open your account at aspiration.com/tree today. That's aspiration.com/tree. Terms and conditions apply. Aspiration is not a bank. Deposits are FDIC insured up to $2 million per depositor.
$2 million. It's time for mandatory fun.
No! That's not what it's
I know. I was just having a good time. Dash didn't even play the graphic. There it is. It's not time for mandatory fun. It's time for our discussion. She's trying to catch you guys off guard.
It works.
Hey, look. Here's the thing. Spider-Man came out. Everyone was crying. We saw the set photos of like Tom and Zendaya and Jacob. They were like, "This is our last Spider-Man movie." Everyone was like, "No, it's not. Shut the fuck up." But there was no deal in place. But now Sony and Tom Holland reportedly have signed a deal. On the Hot Mic podcast, Jeff Snyder confirmed some like internet rumors. He was like, "I called my people. I've got it. It's happened." If you don't know who Snyder is, he's the guy who like first broke the Blade director news. Yes. He broke Vision Quest as a series. He broke the Harrison Ford Thunderbolt run. He's on a run. Wow. And now he's got this Tom signed a deal thing in the bag. So we're taking it as fact. Now, part of the rumor was that it was going to be sort of this like 6 appearance deal. 3 of them would be like standalone trilogy movies. 3 would be appearances. Sort of how they've structured these Spider-Man deals in the past. On the podcast, he only could confirm that he signed this 3-episode part of it. There's going to be a new trilogy. He was like, if I had to guess, we'd maybe get 5 or 6 total movies for this deal. There's also a rumor going around that part of the appearances would be an appearance in Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't confirm that either. That's still just a rumor right now. But it was sort of like, does Sony really want Tom Holland, one of his appearances, to be in a Disney Plus show?
What if Snyder's just like the devil? And he knows everything that's happening.
Mephisto?
He just says it if it happens. Because watch this. Oh my God.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Every now and then it's been like, should we cover this on the show? I don't really know how reliable this guy is. He's batting 1,000 right now. But then it would be like Deadline drops the article right afterwards. So expect some news from some more official sources.
I mean, the Daredevil Born Again, it kind of makes sense, right? With Spider-Man being, I want to go back to the streets.
Was that? Were we talking about that today? What? I was like,
we had a meeting about it.
Conversations for the same.
Well, I was about to say I wouldn't mind it. I would hope they just hold out for like Deadpool instead, and because Daredevil Born Again's coming pretty quick.
Getting ahead of it. I'm gonna ask you about that in a second.
Oh,
but let's just kind of talk about like let's talk about the trilogy right now, right? At the end of No Way Home, it kind of set up a few ideas for some future Spider-Man movies. The world not knowing who Peter Parker is, a little bit of like a little symbiote. Maybe a little bar in Mexico. Symbiote. No. Peter creating his own suit and seemingly sort of like saying a little bit of maybe a goodbye to MJ and Ned, being like, you guys are going off to your college. I'm going to go, maybe not go to college or whatever, who knows. So I guess my question is like, they've dropped in all these little threads. Where do we think that the Spider-Man franchise is headed? But I want to get even more specific than that.
Okay.
Because this isn't Rogue Theory. Why not sort of approach this as factually as possible, right? So if you look at kind of how Sony and Marvel deals have broken out thus far, it seems like Marvel has sort of been disinterested in rehashing things that have already been done by the previous Spider-Man movies, right? They haven't really rebooted any of the villains. Obviously, we got a lot of them back in No Way Home, but those were the same characters in a multiverse situation. They didn't like do another Norman Osborn. They didn't do another, Sandman. Yeah, all that kind of stuff, right? And then they've sort of like changed a lot of the characters. MJ has a different backstory and a different name, right? Aunt May is like a pretty different character. So they've really kind of shaken up a lot of the stuff that they've done. And we have the symbiote, right? So like, we're going to go back to a black suit Spidey. I don't know. I'm going to get into that.
God damn it. Just hit me when I get too close. I also think it's like, okay, stop me if we can talk about this later.
Go
I think
crazy.
that it is interesting that they do not want to touch any of the old Spider-Man stuff, which I also agree with. Don't do it. But it is like they're always still a little close to the animated, the Across the Spider-Verse and the Miles Morales one, where I'm like, come on, you're setting it up. Come on, just do it. Just do it. But I do like the symbiote idea. And it's
Corridor Digital just put out that video this weekend of Tom Holland being in Into the Spider-Verse, which there's some rumors that Tom Holland's Spider-Man might end up.
They did their own version of that.
That would be fun.
They look really good.
They should do that. The symbiote, are you talking about at the end of Carnage?
No, in the post-credit scene for No Way Home. Remember when Tom Hardy's at that bar in Mexico?
Yes, he's in it.
And they
Yes,
leave a little bit of it
100%.
And right before that, I was rewatching that scene to prep for this. He says, like, I might have to go to New York to, like, talk to this guy. And then obviously he gets sucked out.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no Eddie Brock, right, in the MCU right now, but there is symbiote.
There could be an Eddie Brock. We just haven't met.
Sure. There's not Tom Hardy Eddie Brock.
There could be Edwina Brock.
That's my favorite Brock.
My favorite Brock.
Oh my god, that's my favorite Brock. So,
I like broccoli.
I love broccoli. Oh, I'm thinking of broccoli.
Brandon
either way.
Gone.
Black suit Spidey, symbiote Spidey. Wouldn't that be a little too close to?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, what if they're gonna do like? Sorry to interrupt you. We were talking about the Tobey Maguire ones.
That 70 show.
Topher Grace. Yeah. But I think what they might do maybe is like kind of in the comics where when the black suit was introduced, it wasn't a bad thing at first. He was enjoying it and liking it. Maybe we'll have a movie of him just being, and maybe it'll just allude to him being bad, and then you could pick that up later, because maybe they could even introduce that in like the Secret Wars movie that's coming out, which is also really cool because that's where it debuted in the comics.
Thank you for talking about Secret Wars. We did promise about that.
Yeah, so there you go.
We're gonna get into Secret Wars stuff.
I also am wondering, like, there's two other things. Is one, they have if Sony gets their way, I mean, they're gonna have the MCU Tom Holland is close to their Sony versus stuff, and they're already filming Kraven right now. And we knew when the deal fell apart between Marvel and Sony that they had a Kraven script in the bag ready to go, or at least maybe it was a script, it was a story that with Tom Holland that they were prepared to do to divorce him from the MCU. So maybe in their perfect world, Sony's trying to get him to get Kraven in there somehow, whether Kevin Feige allows that.
Tom, here's the thing. They had it perfect. They could have done it at the end of No Way Home, right? They could have found a way to send him off to a different universe at the end of that movie, and they didn't do it. So there had to have been conversations between Marvel and Sony about the future of Tom Holland in the MCU, right?
I'm sure they put that same line in the sand where it's like, we're not part of the Sony verse.
Yeah. I got another question on that same line, right? I'm going to give you an ultimatum. You get the Sinister Six in a Spider-Man movie, but it has to be the Sinister Six that Sony is setting up in the same actors. Do you take it? Same actors. You got Morbius. You got Venom.
Absolutely not.
You've got Kraven. That's my ultimatum.
But the thing is, you could also do the Sinister Six with different villains.
You can, but that's not what
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to see those ones. I don't want to see those ones. I want a new pool.
Real quick, who are those six? We're saying it's Morbius. We're saying it's
Vulture too,
Scorpion.
Right?
It's Vulture. It's definitely Vulture.
I'm not giving you Scorpion.
Okay,
that was a weird post-credit scene by the MCU.
So Vulture, Kraven, Morbius.
Vulture, Kraven, Morbius, Venom.
TBD. TBD, Madam Web.
Yeah.
Oh, and El Muerte or whatever. Maybe
thing
that's
is,
what they're doing.
Could we take Venom away from the Sinister Six? We gotta take them all?
You get what you get.
Oh,
You get what you
I
get.
don't
You
want Morbius!
either get Sinister Six with those characters, or you don't get Sinister Six in this trilogy.
Wait, no.
You say no?
Changed the rules.
You don't want it?
No, you go.
I will allow it only because, we saw what John Watts did with the villains from other movies. Some well-loved, some not
redeemed.
so well-loved.
Which ones?
Like taking Electro
ones?
and like kind of cleaning it up a little bit.
Sandman
Taking even
had
like
a
the
little bit of
Lizard.
it.
the
I like
Sandman.
Sandman.
Wait, is John Watts confirmed as part
No.
of this?
No,
too? Oh, okay,
absolutely
okay.
not. What I'm saying is, like,
Yeah.
I don't 100% trust Sony all the time.
Yes.
I
Yes.
trust, like, Marvel guiding them. And even if they were forced to use, like, Jared Leto's Morbius, I think a good director could get something good out of that. Possibly. Do I want that? No, but if that's all I get, I'll take it.
And I think to your point, those characters do a stint in the MCU. They probably return to the Sony universe a little bit better.
Right.
A little. We like the
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies
Yeah.
were pretty universally disliked, right? We liked Andrew Garfield in that role, but those movies
That's a
not great.
one-off, though. I
And
won't take that chance.
now
I
people
won't
are
take
like,
that
give
chance.
us a third Amazing Spider-Man movie.
I agree with you.
Okay,
I'm
so-
afraid of gambling. I'm afraid
Yes.
of gambling that much.
I don't want to lose.
Look, how much do you have to put down on this for you not to take it?
$7,000.
All I want is an old Spider-Man. Like, that, seeing, like, older Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, like, every time these
so
Spider
nice.
franchises get going, like, they end, and you're like, I just want to see, like, an older, wiser Spider-Man. That's one of the best things about Into the Spider-Verse is Peter B. Parker
Yep.
being like, no, I've lived this life, and my back hurts, and I've lost my wife, and, like,
I
it's tough
lost
out
my
there,
wife,
kid, but,
dude, I
like,
don't
these
wanna
are
do
these are the sacrifices we make, and I would love to see Tom Holland kind of age into that.
Yes.
It'd be really nice, have the story that they've done on the PlayStation game, right, where like Spider-Man's training Miles Morales in the comic books too,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what I see for the future for Tom, and like that's what I really would like for
Do you
him.
I think they just are like too afraid to like make him old.
Well,
They see Peter Parker
yeah,
as like
I mean,
the
that's
high
the-
schooler going
yeah,
into
the
college.
comics have
many good
stretched him
college.
as long as they can as a young man, and like slowly get him into college, just slowly get him married. Like,
But then by the time Miles came around, he was like
Yeah.
the head of the Parker Industries.
is-
He was like a
Yeah.
Tony Stark type, and then he could take on someone to mentor.
I'm sorry to like hijack this for a second.
go.
It is interesting that it's like they always want him to resonate with young people, and it's like, yeah, but we were young that aged with him, and so now we want to see
Yeah.
the older version of him. I don't know any other. Are there other like characters that are like Spider-Man in those ways, where it's like, yeah, I watched this. He's been 16 for like 50 years,
right.
and so
you
it's
could
like we're
argue
gonna-
like Smallville, right? You had a Superman who became Superman, right? He starts out as like a young Clark Kent in
Yeah.
Smallville,
on the farm,
right?
yeah.
And then works his way up to Metropolis, and then at the very last episode, finally flies, and you don't get to see it.
and you don't get to see it. Oh, are you okay, honey? It's okay. Honey, it's fine.
It was a long 10 years
Go to the
for a
next
lot
question.
of nothing.
Okay, all right.
too, Brandon. I was
Before
there
Brandon
too.
has a complete break. So the other part of that movie, right? The other sort of loose end is the Spider-Man identity stuff, right? No one knows who Peter Parker is, including his friends, including his family. People know that there's a Spider-Man, but they don't know who is Spider-Man. He's got
Very-
a secret
very messy,
identity.
very
back.
messy stuff.
A little messy, a little
Narratively
different ways
messy.
to interpret things. Here's my question, right? He doesn't have a Stark Tech suit. It's a lot easier for people to impersonate Spider-Man now. Do you think we might see some Spider-Man impersonators? We have this symbiote. We've never really gotten Venom in the Spunpsy doing the web slinging stuff that he kind of does in the comics and in other movies. Or maybe a kid from Brooklyn could be impersonating Spider-Man.
Say it.
Little Miles Morales. That
I
there's
thought
been
you
all
said
these
Spider-Man.
reports. There's been all these reports that like if they're going to be done with Tom, they're gonna want to tee up
Right.
Miles, right? So, and of course they do, right?
They've already introduced his uncle, right?
We've
already
got
got-
Donald
exactly.
Glover, Prowler, kind of maybe not really in the MCU. Maybe they'll bring him back. Everyone wants Miles sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
right?
Anna, we see it. We're gonna get to it.
Thank you, Anna.
We do have to redeem our super
the
chats.
chat
We
she
know.
was typing so hard. I was like,
We're just in
thanks,
the
Anna.
thick of it. I mean, you talk about what's left over to do. I mean, you point out Prowler and Miles Morales. Also Scorpion. I mean, something they set up
Absolutely.
and haven't paid off. It could be interesting to see. I think I love the imposter idea because Spider-Man in the comics, his first big villain was Chameleon, who impersonated him. And that's why most of New York hates Spider-Man,
Yeah.
is because they think he's a bad guy and they forget that, like, that's like kind of sets up his whole storyline going forward, is that he has to go back and be like, no, the first you heard of Spider-Man was the guy robbing banks. That was an imposter. I'm the good guy.
And speaking of villains, it'll be interesting to see if now we get a more proper J. Jonah Jameson type interaction. Granted, it's retreading a little bit of the Tobey Maguire thing, but it'll be a new MCU version.
I agree with you 110%. You, not so much. The only thing, I love that idea. I love it. So, well, they can actually still do it. I was going to say, I really like that idea. It's just it's so close to the last Daredevil. It's exactly the exact same thing in New York.
Yeah.
But I love it, and I want to see it done again, and I don't care if they did it again.
Right.
I'm like, do it again. I like
And
this.
you talk about no one knows who he is, and that's like a big thing for Spider-Man in the comics, right? He's like protecting his identity. When they go into Civil War, that he takes the side of like he doesn't want to show, and he does show, and he feels bad about it. And now he's kind of reset. No one knows. And Daredevil pointed out in a throwaway line on She-Hulk that the Sokovia Accords are gone. So we have to protect people's identity.
In that same scene, right? He talks about people's identity and how important it is. And maybe that is kind of our clue. Obviously, Tom Holland Spider-Man and Matt Murdock have shared a scene before.
But the whole reason for Spider-Man not revealing himself is because he has to protect Aunt May, he has to protect MJ.
Oh.
They don't exist for him anymore. So it's like,
Well, I think he's still, he's still protecting MJ.
Well, yes. I mean, I guess someone could...
Hard to trace MJ back to Peter Parker,
Not
right?
super hard.
No.
They went to high school together. And
But
they
nobody
have
knows
photos.
he's
this.
They have
But
photos
no,
together.
No,
yeah.
the thing
Photos
is,
away?
people don't know. Oh,
They know who
we
Tom
don't know.
Holland, or they know who Peter Parker is,
Yeah.
and they know
They
there
don't
is
know
a
who Peter Parker is.
Spider-Man, but they don't know that they're the same person.
They don't know they're the same
I
person,
thought-
but they
No,
know
people don't know.
Peter
MJ
Parker
is like, who's this guy in
Yeah,
front
Peter
of me?
Parker
No, but if
doesn't
he's
exist.
That's
constantly
right, I guess.
stalking her
He
and
doesn't have a
watching her and
social
being like,
security
I
number,
love her.
maybe. Like,
That's
that
right.
Peter Parker himself doesn't
We
have
That's
are-
what I'm saying.
we
It
are
might be
losing
hard to
it.
connect those two people.
No,
MJ's like, I don't know who this guy is.
You're out of your mind if you think he's
Narrative
not going to be
message.
like over a bush looking at her from a
that
distance.
brings me to my
She's
point.
not even
So,
in the movie.
I know you said this isn't rogue theory, but I just thought of something. And in the comics, he makes a deal with Mephisto so that he can
does.
save
Oh,
his
boy.
marriage.
Oh, boy.
What if this
They
is a
already did.
But what if he makes a
Already
deal
did.
with Mephisto?
He already
to
made
get
a deal with a
MJ's
different magician, though, right?
Wait, which one? Oh,
Well,
Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange.
Well, yeah, they sort of did that plot line, right?
But
do it again.
you
Don't do
know,
it again.
a deal with a wizard is different than a deal with the devil. We're just saying.
Who is
But he
Amrata?
thought it
The
was,
devil
he
is
thought
a
it was Doctor
wizard.
Strange in the comic. Okay, next question. Oh, whew.
Too many questions.
Again, trying to ask questions that maybe have real answers, right? In the past, these deals have included this clause, we don't talk about this a lot, where Marvel like kind of gives Sony a character from the MCU, right? In the first movie, you've got Tony Stark being a mentor character. Then in Spider-Man Far From Home, you have Nick Fury, Maria Hill. You've got Doctor Strange and Happy Hogan in No Way Home. What is one character from the MCU that you want to see personally in at least one of these trilogy movies? Either acting as a mentor character or just like a buddy. The guy needs a friend.
So these are friends, not like Kingpin. Like these are friends.
Well, it
you mean?
could be
Already in the
I was
MCU,
like-
already established in the MCU.
So I would say
Kingpin's
Kingpin.
out. Kingpin's not in the MCU.
He's not yet.
in
Not yet.
MCU.
What?
He
Not
He's a
yet.
Hawkeye.
Oh, he was.
Hawkeye. He was the big
Oh, he
man.
was.
Whoa.
Oh, he was.
Here.
I was on your side.
Whoa, whoa.
JC for JC. JC's for JC.
okay, guys.
I'm gonna
There's
say,
so much
I'm gonna
content,
say,
it's hard to
I'm gonna
remember,
say
okay?
that Sony probably wants it to be a character that is on the side of good,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I'm going to say two. I'm going to say the one that I want and the one that's realistic. Realistically, watch it be like Maria Hill. Watch it be Maria Hill. What I really want,
Power broker.
Riri Williams.
Really was.
That would be
Very
very
well.
fun.
Yeah.
Especially
very
because,
fun. I was
like,
gonna
I
say
loved in Black Panther them being like, oh shit, you got Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And then, like, if he hears that, he's like, well, Iron Man was my, like, that was my
like, "You're
boy.
Iron
And then she's
Man."
like, I don't care. I just made a suit out of his
think-
stuff.
They've already put too many other people in this movie. Give him Sam Wilson, Captain America, right? Let him go.
He
hang out with
needs,
Spider-Man.
he needs a cameo.
He had his own
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
and they put 16 other characters in it.
Brandon
so
said, here you go.
Let
Take
him, let him be in a
take a little
Spider-Man
bread.
movie.
Take a little, some crumbs.
Okay, if not Kingpin.
Well, I
it's a
was gonna say Riri Williams, but okay, then I'll say maybe I'm cheating a little bit, but let's bring in some of the other heroes are his age, like America Chavez, the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. Bring some of them in maybe and have them have some adventures with them.
love it.
Or Daredevil.
I love
of course.
This trilogy of films is probably going to come out after Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Maybe not. I want to see someone from. I want to see a little Reed Richards. If we
that would be great.
If we get
Already
Fantastic
established in
Four.
the
I was about
MCU.
to
If we
say,
get,
Oh,
if we get
oh,
Fantastic Four,
you know, I'm
The
always
rule
on
breaker.
your side. You know, I'm
Is that
always
a
on your
cheat?
side.
The rule
but
breaker.
It kind of.
The cheat?
The rule breaker.
it's coming. And then finally, I know we're running out of time.
I
here.
was like, I'm gonna skip this.
We can go long today. Who cares? okay, they've got the 6-picture deal. One of them is a trilogy. 2 of them are probably King Dynasty and Secret Wars. Although I would argue you could probably get one or the other. You'd want him in both, but you could probably do with
I mean,
one
it
or
was
the other.
mostly not an Endgame.
There's
Right?
going to be
Yeah.
so
Barely
many people.
Right.
Yeah,
if
in
you're
these
not
movies.
going to put him in Born Again, like the rumor states, but maybe Sony is like, no, we're going to do movies only. I'm taking Born Again off. I'm taking Fantastic Four off. What movie, either announced or we kind of suspect is coming, do you want Tom Holland?
I mean, Deadpool is a great one, right?
Yeah.
Deadpool's really fun.
Are we ignoring King Dynasty and those bigger ones?
Yeah,
It's,
I'm going to say
clear
those are
that they're
pretty much
obviously-
guaranteed.
Yeah.
So you get one.
I'm going to say Shang-Chi 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Okay.
actually, there's some times where he's trained Spidey on how to fight,
Sure.
hand to hand and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Seeing them do some kung fu, karate.
like
I like
that.
Deadpool a lot.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
He already
I said
said
Deadpool.
Oh, I thought you said Deadpool.
No, he said Deadpool.
She kind of said it earlier.
He looked at me because I'm pretty.
You said it right. I think you said beautiful.
Okay, well I changed
Yeah,
it up.
okay.
I switched it up on him. I'm gonna say Ironheart because I'm obsessed with her.
No, okay.
And also-
well, that's a TV show too.
Wait, no TV shows?
I think if they,
It's one episode.
I think they
One
just
episode.
want movies.
But just one episode.
Okay, all right,
Just a
okay.
little-
I'll
little
give you
cameo.
Ironheart. We have
Oh,
to
she's
move
probably
on.
going to be in Armor Wars. So you can say Armor Wars because that's a movie now.
I'm not. No.
Thunderbolts would
I'll say
also.
Armor Wars. I'll say Armor
Batman:
Wars.
The Audio Adventures. We want to
Thunderbolts would also be good too if they're like messing around in New York and Spidey comes
Actually.
by and Red
Didn't-
Guardian just punches them.
Yeah, I was
in
like,
the
didn't Red
nuts or
Guardian
something.
say he wanted to fight him?
They do this whole deal that they're like sweating over
Yeah.
for months and months and months, and he just gets punched by Red Guardian for 5 seconds. Okay, great.
We do want to thank, as John was pointing out, Batman: The Audio Adventures. The second season of the hit show is on HBO Max now, and it's an audio show, folks, on HBO Max. Could you believe it? It's got an awesome cast that includes Rosario Dawson, John Leguizamo, and Bobby Moynihan. Jeffrey Wright, who played Jim Gordon in The Batman, of course, we all know. He's now the Cape Crusader, voicing Batman in the show.
But not like that. It's not like he.
Not in real life.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
Tommy's been listening to it. He's completely hooked on the series. He will not stop about it. That's part of the reason why he's been suspended. Standouts for him include Harleen Quinzel's. What character is that?
I don't
know. Is new
I think
I don't
Tommy
know.
typoed it.
Harleen Quinzel's evolution into maybe the most insane portrayal of Harley Quinn. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
That makes
Harley
sense,
Quinn. It's a great portrayal of her. Also, Seth Meyers is the voice of a radio DJ. He's kind of acts as like the audience's surrogate in the show. There's a storyline with fun vignettes and sketches full of Batman lore. It's a really fun show. And it makes sense that this show is funny because it was created by longtime SNL writer Dennis McNichols, and he stacked the cast with some comedy ringers like the people I mentioned before, and also Chris Parnell, Kenan Thompson. Tune in for a tale of life and death in Gotham City. The whole season 1 is already available to stream, and season 2 is out now on HBO Max. Again, stream DC's Batman: The Audio Adventures season 2 right now on HBO Max. Do we need to do
Let's
this redemption?
do the redemption. We'll get to some super chats,
wanna
and then
do
we'll
it?
say goodbye.
You do good characters. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I have
put
to
you on
play
the
a
spot.
character for this.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to
Where's
play
the
characters.
microphone?
So we're gonna do
Where's
some
Josh?
Thanksgiving. We're gonna give thanks as we approach Thanksgiving week.
John, no one said you have to do a character.
We're gonna give some thanks
You could've just sat in my
to
spot.
some of our favorite fandoms. Thank to our super chatters, Bucky Barnes ATL. He sees you, Costa, and he can't quit you. The MJ 2997. Why isn't Tom TB here so we can spam jets into the chat? Again, Tommy was
JETS.
suspended. We're gonna work on getting him back on the show. He's got to pay his penance first. The MJ also said, refund this super chat if sports are banned when Tommy Bechtold is gone. Jets, Jets, Jets.
A lot of
Jets,
Jets.
Jets.
I love the Jets fans.
Tyler
you.
Neve Harris sending a super chat. Andor is so gritty, and I love it so much. Tyler, you are on the money, my
Gritty?
guy. And Haven saying, giving thanks for Brandon B. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Lion of Demise said, my headcanon is that No Way Home, John Jonah Jameson, is that his first name? Is it John?
Couldn't tell you.
John Jonah Jameson
wait.
was
okay.
the sixth Sinister Six, which I love
that's
that
cool.
idea.
Ooh, that's
Just
like
like a
InfoWars
man with a
version of
gun
him?
ready to like take down Spider-Man. He's gone full Oath Keepers on Spider-Man. Baby.
Oh,
He's taking him
God, I
down.
don't like it. I don't like it. It's too scary. Bring me the Scorpion Man back.
And happy birthday to Mezzo JD. Is it your birthday?
happy
Mezzo JD?
birthday.
Hey,
Birthday.
happy birthday to our great mod. That's
Yeah.
Happy birthday
to ya.
Happy birthday to you. We can't afford that song. John, hit him with a thanks. Give a thanks
Give me
to our
camera
fandom.
4. Hi, everyone. I'm not framed very
Kneel
well.
down a little
Okay.
bit.
Hi, everybody.
Oh
Hi.
wait, he's got you.
Can I get the outro music playing too, if it's not already? Because this is
Why
gonna
you on
close. This is
your
gonna
own
close
outro?
us out. This is gonna close us out.
Are you the only one giving thanks?
Oh, you want to all give thanks?
should all give a
Great,
little
let's all
thanks.
give a little thanks.
I don't want it.
Okay. Hey, this isn't for a fandom. This is for an individual. Damon Lindelof,
Oh.
thank you. Thank you. I know that people hated you after Lost. And, some people could say rightfully so. I quite liked the Lost finale. Some people hated you after that really bad Star Trek movie. Some people hated you after Tomorrowland.
Get to the thanks.
Tomorrowland. But then you did The Leftovers.
Oh.
And then you did Watchmen.
Oh, Watchmen, my guy.
And Watchmen. One of the best shows.
The one that
Of
came
the
out in
last-
2006?
No, the Watchmen show. One of my
movie
favorite
was timeless.
shows.
Yes.
One of my favorite shows over the last, 5 or 6 years.
It was great.
And it really, really transformed how I think of this genre, how I think of storytelling and television in general, and how I think about people. Wow. I'm no longer a racist.
No,
Thank
wait.
you.
No. Brought away.
I thought that's what you were saying. Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were asking. Okay. I don't know. You put it in my ear. No. Okay. Do you want to go next?
Who was yours too?
Damon
Lindelof.
Lindelof. But this is supposed to be
I'll
fandoms.
do thanks
I was just
to
bad.
David Hasselhoff.
Oh, okay.
Because your name is almost like Damon Lindelof. What's his name?
Damon Lindelof.
Lindelof. I liked you in the SpongeBob movie, and
Yeah,
you got it.
Baywatch?
You keep going. Also, no, he was
The
in
original
another
Nick
movie.
Fury.
It was the original.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Never mind. I don't want to give you.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
He was. Keep being a character for '80s people to love.
I want to say thank you to the crew here, the Rockstars, giving us all the great things that we love every day. But more importantly, because I just remembered this, I want to thank Ryan Coogler for even making Black Panther 2.
That's better than David
He did not have to do this movie, guys. After Chadwick left us too soon, this movie could have easily been shelved. It was just too much to even take on, and yet he somehow squeezed out a movie that was way better than it should have been, and gave us the entire. He even built the Talokans, a whole new world of characters that we have more to see, and it was just amazing. If you haven't seen Black Panther 2, go watch it. Thank you, Ryan Coogler.
Thank you, Ryan Coogler. I already gave my thanks to Andor. You know I love it. It's a great show. God bless. But I got one more. I got another fandom. Thank you.
Can I change mine?
No, you love David Hasselhoff, an old man who got drunk once and ate burgers on social media.
Is that bad?
Well, he had a bit of a drinking problem.
Oh,
But that doesn't make you bad. Work on yourself.
Rewind
everyone.
it.
Work on yourself.
Rewind
Man,
it. Take it back.
these thank
Take it
yous
back.
have gotten bad.
Hey, I want to say thank you to Mike White and the White
Yeah,
Lotus
let's go.
franchise, baby.
Survivor legend.
So weird, so strange. I love the show. The first season was great. Second season is already popping off. It's not real, folks. There's no way that thing was real. It's got to be a prosthetic.
Oh,
If
White
it is-
Lotus?
The hog.
if
The
it
hog
is-
Leave
and White
Theo
Lotus.
James alone.
I don't
and
know
his
how
big
Theo
hog.
James buys pants if that was real. But God bless the man if
False
it is.
hog.
And apologies to any
False
women
hog
or
convert.
men he's run into in a sexual nature in his life, because that must have been
Or you just
painful
bumped
as
into
hell.
on the street.
But yeah, thank you to White Lotus. What a great show. Loving that show. Loving that series,
Everyone's
loving
only going to talk
franchise.
about that first episode.
Oh my God.
That first episode that was like a 5-second scene.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like the boys.
I rewound. I had to show my roommate. I was like, we've been talking about it at the office. I need you to.
I need you to
wait.
see it.
Yeah,
Slow
fake
motion,
hug.
frame by frame.
Fake hug,
Hey,
confirmed.
thank you for tuning into the Break Room today. We hope you join us right here tomorrow at the same time, live from New Rockstars headquarters. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you haven't liked it already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that. Please do that.
so sorry.
And be sure to check out Eric's Black Panther Wakanda Forever breakdown, which is up now live on the channel. Jessica's got a great video about Black Panther coming out on Thursday this week. Check out all the videos on the channel.
Say who it's about.
It's about Riri Williams
Hey.
and her potential future in the
Yeah.
MCU. I hear she's getting a TV show.
You heard
Well, thank you all for
heard it
tuning in
first.
today. We hope you had a great day. We're going to have a great, fun week here, as we always do on the Break Room. So great to see you, Breakers, all you roomies out there in the chat. Latest guys, and we'll see you next time. Tune in tomorrow, folks.
Bye.
Bye.